Hi, happy to be here. So many exciting and a bit tired faces, but nevertheless. So I'm happy to share my story. It was something about 7 years ago. I remember watching the final phase of the competition called Ajujaht, which is a competition for the best business idea in Estonia. And it was happening in the Estonian national television. And I remember I was watching these teams and I had this thought, that, bloody hell, I would like to be there. I would be loving to pitch my idea how to change the world to that jury. And back at that time, I was working for the largest software development company in the region. A company that had built nearly half of Estonian e-government solutions. And we were conducting different e-government projects in Middle East and Africa. And one of the most challenging projects where I have been involved in was actually implementation of the financial management information system in Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the most corrupt countries. So can you imagine what came out during this process? A lot of millions. So anyway, I cannot say that I didn't have challenges at that time, but in the autumn of 2013, I was invited to take part of Garage 48 hackathon. And this event was specially dedicated for women in tech with the purpose to have as many female participants as possible. And of course, I decided to take part because I really believe in women empowerment. And secondly, I was really curious. I was really curious to see how it is possible to build something within just 48 hours, as I had seen, big systems being built for months or even years. So I went to the event, sat down, didn't know anybody actually, and when the time came to join up with the team, I didn't know actually what team to join, but there was this sawmill owner who was pitching his problem about the timber measurement. And he was kind of struggling to get the team together. So I decided to join him, even though I didn't know anything about the timber industry. And also we got some machine learning and computer vision enthusiasts joining our team. And I repeat, no one knew anything about this timber measurement or the timber industry. But I think that was actually the key to success because within just 48 hours, we got the first prototype ready and we won the event. And within just this day, there was a deadline to apply for this best business idea competition, Ajujaht. So we decided to give it a try. And we got into the first 300, then to the first 100, then to the top 40, then to the top 10. We closed our first pre-seed round. Thank you, Kerry and Rivo. And then suddenly we were in the top 3. And I realized that in just 1 year, my dream had come true. So what I was thinking back then, that I want to be there on that stage and to pitch my idea how to change the world. And of course, all the things happened. So one of my team members was literally telling me that, listen, we shouldn't go to these finals. We have nothing. But we still turned up and it was very close. But we won this competition. And we got the 50K to develop our solution. A couple of months later, I left my job at the nice corporation, and I said, what the hell, no regrets. I will give myself a chance to see what I can do, otherwise I cannot cross any of the timber pile and without having any negative feelings. So this is how the journey started. And of course, the problem which we were solving was much bigger than just the timber measurement. So in the timber measurement, it was to my great surprise that there were basically medieval methods being used, a lot of data still on the papers, so intensive, human labor intensive processes. But it wasn't only the problem with the timber measurement, it was the problem that actually the whole timber supply chain was suffering from the lack of precise data. And that, of course, caused a lot of problems in the next steps, as like production planning or logistics or sales. And what we understood that with our solution, we bring so much more transparency, traceability, and efficiency to the picture. So our goal was from the beginning to create a solution that is easy to use, affordable, and accessible for everyone, whether you are a private forest owner or you are manufacturing. So everybody could use it, just simply download and start measuring and get the results. The number of logs, the volume, and exact diameter of each and every log. And in a sense, in the beginning, we really thought that it was all about the technical risk, that are we able to develop a solution which is precise enough, which is good enough, and does the job. And we used nearly 500,000 pictures to train our detection algorithm, so that it could work also in the most difficult weather conditions, whether it's snowing or raining or a lot of sunlight. So we kept developing and developing and developing. And of course, we did hundreds and hundreds of demos, and I must say that at least the first 50 were total crap. But nevertheless, soon we understood that actually it wasn't really about the technology. It was all about the mindset, and that actually companies and the people had issues with changing their habits, changing their procedures, and just simply changing their way of thinking. And to our great surprise, we started receiving sometimes questions like, come on, I mean, do you like measure each on a selling and buying process on the same basis? And we were saying, yes, of course. I mean, what we want to achieve is actually the transparency in the sales transactions. And the response was, come on, but I mean, this is a part of my business model. So whether I sell or I buy, and I each time measure differently. And we have had like really many cases where we have this demo, everything is being pre-measured. We go there, we discover that there are like 5 logs or six logs more in the pile. And then these high officials, like for example what happened in Belarus, got really frustrated, started counting each and every log, one after another, and simply realizing that Timbeter was doing the work much better than the human being. But did it mean that they bought the solution? No. So I must say that there was a point where we really became frustrated, because it really felt that there's no one who is actually interested in bringing more transparency, traceability, and efficiency to that sector. And we are like the only ones who are really caring about that. But I think it was something about 2016-17 where we started to see that there's a different attitude. And in the beginning, we didn't realize what was it actually. But I think there were like 2 main factors. And first of all, it was time. So we had been on the market for a while. And unfortunately, in this kind of traditional sector like timber industries, nobody wants to be the pioneering company. Nobody wants to be the first user of your technology. Everyone wants to use the technology which is already being on the market for years and used by the other companies. So it was really, really hard to get the first customers. But when you had them, then it was step by step a bit easier to really approach already new customers and to get them on board. The second thing what was important was the sustainability. So the world started to talk about sustainability more and more. And it became understandable for everyone who were involved in the forestry debates that the main cause for these kind of disagreements is actually the lack of precise data. And today, I'm really happy that we are working with really big names all over the world. Just to name, for example, Timbeter from Latin America, which is one of the largest corporations in Latin America. And they have been using our solution since 2017. And they are also in charge of the initiative of the forestry groups that are helping forestry companies to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And I think it's pretty clearly understandable for everyone that the digital solutions are the key for sustainability. And I remember the call which I had some year ago with a guy, my champion from Timbeter. And he told me, it's like, Anna-Greta, I'm not even going to mention how much more transparent and healthier atmosphere we have in our working environment. But I need to say that there hasn't been any fatal accidents during this time we have used your solution. And not to mention the lower costs or more efficient and quicker procedures, we have also saved tons of paint. So what the procedure has been is that they actually marked each and every log with a paint, and now they succeeded to save 45% out of that paint. So I must say that it is now already 7 years which I have been part of this journey. And of course, it has been hard. But I must say that I feel like it's just in the beginning. So you feel that there's more and more companies approaching you. You see governmental interest to tackle illegal logging, to really monitor and control all the timber that is going for the exporting purposes, to keep the overweight trucks away from the road. Anything what can be done with more precise data that can be controlled and monitored. And today, I'm really happy to work also with the largest state forest in Europe, the Polish state forest, and see how this organization is going through the digital transformation, and meaning that they really think through their procedures and think how to set their steps so that they would save a lot of time and have much better understanding and overview of all their operations. I guess it's also important to mention that we were, in our journey, wise enough not to listen too much of the Estonian timber people. In Estonia, we have a saying that go big or go home. But the good thing is that you can go big from home. And where we see our revenue coming, it's mostly outside of European Union. So the European Union forms only 10% of our revenue. So in a sense, you always need to find the markets which can adopt your solutions in the quickest way. And sometimes they are really, really far from your home market. So as I said, this journey really hasn't been easy. And I was warned, actually, when I left the corporate. And it really has been hard. But in a way, I keep on learning, keep on developing every day, and I'm really thankful for that. And as everyone previously has given some advice, then of course I will say that dream big, be patient, and remember to stay alive, because this is something that helps you to make your dream come true. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna-Greta. I'm also not letting you off the stage quite yet. Questions from the audience? Not that I see them in Slido, but I'm sure you have. In the meanwhile, I will ask the ones that somebody has sent in Slido. You talked a lot about your journey, your company journey. What's your biggest personal learning throughout the Timbeter journey?
Well, there has been really many, but sometimes what we always see in our sales process is that you cannot take one group as a homogeneous one. So, for example, if somebody tells you no, you shouldn't be like taking this is very seriously, because always companies are combined by people, and every no gets you to the closer to the next yes. So in a sense, keep on going and you will get your yes.
So don't take no as an answer. And what are your kind of routines that keep you going, keep you balanced, to keep you doing it?
Well, I have a big family, so that balances the tough life in timber industry quite nicely. But I think this has been also kept me from burning out, because I know what is important, and until, no one's dead, everything is okay. So it's just a business.
Nice advice, and I hear the same kind of red thread going through all the founder stories actually, and I think I'm seeing a pattern that the people who have been in the game a bit longer are of course more relaxed about all the mishaps and failures and whatnot, and the ones who are younger are more talking still about the anxiousness and the stress and everything surrounded, but I guess that's part of the deal.
I guess you get just simply used to that, and get used to it. That's it.
Harju ära. Just get used to it. Okay, thank you so much, Anna-Greta.
Thank you.